Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Once upon a time, when you start like this, then it looks authentic. So, once I was having some satsang somebody's house, and thereafter some people were asking questions. So one person asked this question, Swamiji, yes, is there any need for a living guru? We are going to talk on Guru these days. Is there any need of a living guru? So I heard him and very ceremoniously became indifferent to him. Then I looked at the other person. And then he asked me some question. I replied that question. Now this person, Swamiji, probably you didn't understand my question. Every questionable personality has this doubt. So, Swamiji, I ask you about this. Is there any need of a guru in our life? Again I looked at him, heard, but didn't reply. Again I turned my face and talked to somebody else on some other topic. By then he became angry. You are deliberately insulting me. I said, now the pressure is developed. Now I can talk to you. If you want to play tabla, you have to tighten the head, is it not? If the tabla head is not tightened, it will not give any good sound, bowl, isn't it? Or if you put the hand, it will go inside like a donation box. You see? Then I told him, why you ask this question? Because everything is in the books. So why we need a guru? I said, why don't you ask a book this question? The book will reply. See, for learning how to drive a car, we require a guru. How to make chapatis, those who are South Indians, they know the tragedy in making chapati. North Indians are born with a belna in the hand, so they have no problem. They can do patapat. South Indians, when they have to make chapati, first it comes the South New Zealand island. Then it becomes two islands. With great difficulty it becomes Australia. And very rarely it becomes a globe. Isn't it? So even to make a chapati, we require somebody to teach us. See? But when it comes to the spiritual path, we always have this problem. Why we need a guru? See, when you ask this question, why we need a guru, itself says that you need a guru. See, one day one boy came to me and asked this question. That Swamiji, I am a little confused. I have asked 3, 4, 5 people. And I am not able to decide. Will you please help me? What is that? Being Indian, I can take decision on anybody, on any issue. You know, these are the born qualities of every Indian. See? When anything goes wrong, get him married. He will be settled. That is the best decision. And in India, in our Hindu culture, you are not married only for this life, for 7 lives. So you are booked. There is no choice of any other time. So he said, I want to walk the spiritual path, but I am also attracted on this path of renunciation, sannyas. So I am not able to decide. What should I do? Should I follow the path of renunciation or I should get married? So I told him, get married. He said, how easily you told me, get married. Other people have explained me so many things and all that. I said they wasted their time. I don't want to waste my time. Because after they wasted your time, you are still confused. See? So, he is doing meditation or what? Undo this. That's it. So, now it's better. Those who want to take to sannyas, they don't gather opinions of the people. They just take. See? So when we are not convinced that we are the conscious, blissful existence, when we are confused as to who am I, see? For everything we have got a doubt and confusion, like old Punjabis. Swamiji, घुटनों में इतना दर्द क्यों होता है? One old lady was asking so pathetically that while listening you start getting the pain. So I asked her that you please tell me what for are the eyes? Swamiji, what do you think? I said don't argue. You simply reply the question. What for are the eyes? Eyes are for seeing. Ears are for hearing. Similarly, the knees are for paining. They pain. So we have questions, doubts about everything. Till such doubts are resolved, we will be confused and frustrated in life. See? And therefore, we require somebody who is of our type. This I learned from children, Children are the best teachers. Elders are the best head eaters. Elders have nothing except the questions and problems and doubts. Children have got all the wisdom. So, one child told me after my lecture was over, Swamiji, I want to tell you something. I said, please tell me. You told the story of Dhruva standing on one leg and doing O Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I don't trust it. I can't stand on two legs for 5 minutes. And you told me that he stood on for one leg for 5 months and did tapasya. Forget. I can't believe this. Then, second question. You told about Prahlad and his father. See, no father can be that criminal like that Hiranyakashipu. I don't believe in these cock and bull stories. Why don't you tell something which we will be able to appreciate? From that day onward, my whole approach to spiritual life changed. See, friends, if we tell you, like Bhagwan, one person asked me this question. All the time you say Bhagwan Krishna is Bhagwan, Bhagwan, Bhagwan. How do you call him Bhagwan? He cannot be Bhagwan. He who married 16,108 times. How he can be Bhagwan? I said, look here. He married so many times and yet he was happy. How many times you married? Maybe once, twice, thrice. Are you happy? No. So he has to be Bhagwan. See? Now on the basis of this, the question comes. During his childhood, Bhagwan was so great. He lifted that mountain on his small finger. We lift the small finger when we have to go out. And he lifted the mountain. How can we believe that? How can we accept it? See? Therefore, we want somebody like you and me. We don't want somebody who has got all the siddhi powers. He who can touch, like Bhagwan Krishna. There was one kubja, one crooked lady. He just touch, press her feet, and from this chin he lifted her, and the sound came cut, 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 and she became normal. Now, if God cannot do this, who will do it? So what is great about it? Be very attentive. Therefore, we want someone who was like us, who lived in the same world, got kicked, who suffered, who enjoyed, who had got all the limitations like we have, who was victim of the temptations of the world, and yet he came out of it and established a fact that we also can. See? If we come across a great master, now that great master has got all the powers. So what? Bhagavad Gita is great. So what? What is important is how we are. See, friends. Therefore, there are two types of teachers. Gurus. One type of teachers are those who are like you and me. Other types of teachers are those who have got all the divine powers manifested in them. See? And because they have got the control over Prakriti, over matter, they will be able to fulfill our desires. See? Suppose I want to get married. This is just an example. This will never happen. One day one lady in Bombay came to me and asked this question. Swamiji, there is a news in the newspaper. I want you to read it. I said, I don't have time. I have to go somewhere, finish my talk afterwards. If you want to come, sit in the car. She came, and when we were coming, we came home. Swamiji, shall I ask you? I said, my God, you are still hanging on that question. What is that? She showed me the newspaper. And it was many years before, it was written. One Swami got married to his disciple. Swamiji, read this thing. I said, yes, I read it. What is your comment? I said, if you have come with a proposal to me, no, please. Because when one Swami can get married, you also can get married. No. So suppose I want to get married, to whom will I go? I will go to a Mahatma who will bless me. That's okay. You go in the southern direction, you will come across Hidimba or Shurpanakha. Get married. But if you go to an Acharya, we belong to the Acharya Parampara. If you go to the Acharya, Acharya is like you and me. He has gone to the school. He learned of A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for donkey. See? He has learned. He has also gone through everything, ABCD, everything of life, and got through good or bad experiences, studied hard, and slowly started unfolding the secrets of life, and thereafter got established in that. Therefore, when an Acharya talks, he talks from his journey of experience that he has travelled. See? And these great masters, those who are born Siddha Purushas, they don't need Guru. Guru you and me need. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi did not have Guru. See? But kaha Raja Bhoj, kaha Ganguva Teli? Are we anywhere near Ramana Maharshi? Not even by spelling. We are Ravan, not Raman. See? And therefore, we must recognize that for us, spiritual practice means what? First step. If our spiritual practice means fulfilling our desires, then we are going the wrong way. See, friends, like these days I have got cough and cold. So where this cough and cold comes, somebody comes, gives me naturopathy. Somebody comes, gives me allopathy. Somebody comes, gives me sabudana khichdi. Me, homeopathy. And then Swamiji, would you mind to take homeopathy? Do you believe in homeopathy? I said, look here, I am already pathetic. I don't care what pathy it is. My concern is my health. It doesn't matter what pathy it is. In the same manner, when we are walking the spiritual path, what is our concern? We want to fulfill our desires? Then you should not go to a acharya. Then you should go to those Mahatmas who have got those powers. They will fulfill your desire and they will enslave you for the whole life. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Sa Pashu Devanam. He will become the Pashu. Pashu is like a pet dog. Pet dog gets everything, isn't it? Most comfortable. Once I was in Scandinavia, we went to some nice restaurant in probably Helsinki. And I was sitting with two sweet girls. Their mother, father went to get coffee and croissant or something like that. And one girl came with a mini skirt, tuck, 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 next to our table. From her purse, she took out like a mobile phone, a small doggy with a bow and all that, and said, honey, darling, you sit here. And that honey darling sat there, and this chewing gum went to, if somebody is honey, somebody has to be chewing gum. So she went to get whatever she wanted. And these two girls asked me, Swamiji, how lucky that doggy is. What he must have done in the last life to get such a beautiful life. I said, he must have been a great Mahatma and Dharmatma in the last life. And as a result of this Dharmatma, he got all the comforts. But at the time of death, instead of remembering God, he must have remembered dog. Therefore, those who have dogs, constantly, doggy, 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 doggy. And the last thought is, where is my doggy? Next life, your birth is guaranteed as a dog. In Scandinavia. The purpose of life as given by our scriptures is not fulfillment of desire. See? We all have fulfilled how many desires? Is there any limit? Right from childhood, I want the electronic gift. After some time, we get bored of that, throw it away. Then we want another one. Then we get bored of that. See? How many desires we have fulfilled till date? Not one, two, hundreds and thousands. But have we discovered fulfillment in life? Friends, the simple equation is fulfillment of desires is not equal to fulfillment in life. What we are all doing is going the wrong way. And therefore, when we go to the temples, to the Siddha Mahatmas, what for we go? Mahatmaji, I have got this problem, please remove this problem. Now be very attentive. As we go to the doctor for removing the disease, because they have got the technical know-how, they have correct technical diagnosis and they know the medication, our disease is removed. In the same manner, these great Siddha Purushas, they have that knowledge, the capacity, the siddhi to remove our diseases. But what next? See, what next? One day, somewhere I was in Kathmandu, and from there down below Pokhara. So one person came and asked me, Swamiji, what is the way to live long? Please bless me. I said, no, I never curse anybody. He said, why? I said, why do you want a long life? There cannot be a worse curse than may you live long and suffer. In the old age, nobody enjoys. See? What will we do by living long? See? Instead of adding years to the life, let us add a life to every year that we live. That is more important. See? Therefore, if we are really walking the spiritual path, we will abstain from this approach to life, that wherever our desires are fulfilled, that is our spiritual progress. No, please. It is a catch. See? As regards the body is concerned, body is an effect, karya of Prakriti. Prakriti is that which has to have Vikriti. So, one day it has to go. Otherwise, why did Bhagavan Krishna not stop his body being killed by the arrow of a hunter? Couldn't he stop? He could have done that. See? Therefore, real spiritual life is rising above the desire. See? Therefore, Upanishad tells us, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridishritaha atha martyaha amruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. When we rise above all the desires, functioning at zero desire level is manifestation of divinity through us. See? And this is what is taught to us by the Acharya, where there is a Guru Shishya Parampara, where there is study of scriptures. Study of scriptures change our vision. See, this is a very simple chain of understanding. When we study scriptures, our vision changes. When vision changes, our interaction changes. When our interaction changes, our experiences change. When our experiences change, the quality of our life changes. See? So what is required is changing our present vision. See? I'll give an example about vision. In our Bombay, this on Pedder Road, there is a beauty parlor. Excuse me, Swamiji, how do you know? I don't go there, for your information. So there is a beauty parlor and there is a board written there. Please do not whistle at our customers when they come out of the beauty parlor. Maybe she is your grandmother. Suppose a young boy sees a girl going and it's not that I can't do, I know that. So, when he will whistle and then that young looking girl looks back, Beta, whom do you want? So what will be his interaction? See? When he saw her as a young girl, he had a different approach, is it not? The moment he comes to know she is the old lady, his own grandmother, immediately interaction will change, is it not? Now take this example. When we look at this world as a platform of indulgence, we become bhogi. We want to enjoy. We want to indulge. Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. The moment we come to discover that whom I am interacting with is not a platform for indulgence, but it is a field for worship and reverence, our indulging attitude automatically changes. So what is the secret? Secret is changing the vision. See friends, now apply this principle of changing the vision everywhere. We all have studied Bhagavad Gita. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namayati. Like the body was a child body, Shishu, it is called in Sanskrit Shishu. Then it is called as Kishore. Then it is called as the Balaka. Shishu means the one who can do she and shu anywhere. Shishu. It's a technical term. You take a Shishu, he doesn't bother with the Swami or Mahaswami. He has a Purnamadaha Purnamadaha. Then the teenage comes called as Kishore. Kishore means the one who does shore. Shore means all noise. You know? Teenagers are noisy. Kishore. So, as the body is continuously undergoing change, but the embodied is the same. And when this body is dropped, the embodied goes to another body. Be very attentive. Therefore, we as parents do not give anything else except the gross body to our children. You all must have some lot of properties. Then you hire it out to the tenant. What right you have on the tenant, whether he should be vegetarian or vegetarian? He will live his own life. You have only given house on rent. That's all. And here our children, they don't even pay rent. Kya karna hai, kar lo. Gunda kar di. See? If you take this vision, you will never get disturbed by your children. See? We imagine that I am a goody, I am very spiritual. In our house, unless we burn the lamp or the agarbatti, we don't even take a cup of tea. This is not going to help us. We have to change our vision. See, last time I told you, if you remember, that if you imagine because of your children you will be happy, you are going the wrong way. Even if your children are Sakshat Bhagavan, take example, Dasharatha died because of Rama. See, Vasudeva Devaki, they were in the jail because of Krishna. So when your children are directly gods themselves, the parents suffered. With our kabutars, what expense do we expect? We expect something great out of them. Children are nothing but the revenge taken by our parents on us. That's all. Don't get too much involved. Enough is enough. How much did we listen to our parents that they should listen to us? So to change our vision, we have to study scriptures. And when we have to study scripture, we have to go slowly and steadily. And when you study scripture Upanishad, there you will come to know God realization is living at zero desire level. See? Whenever we are functioning under desire, any desire, we will use this word. See, I was talking to Lalita. See, if I have to, let us say, start a school, I don't have to. Suppose I have to start a school. to anybody whomsoever will come and talk to me, what will be my interaction quality? That if I interact with this person, how much I can gain through my interaction for my school. The world doesn't need schools. The world doesn't need temples. The world doesn't need ashrams. The world doesn't need anything. It is our own imagination. If I do this thing, this will be great. He who created this world knows very well. Uddared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. Here we are only for our spiritual evolution, nothing else. The only purpose we are here is to know our essential nature. All others are byproducts. Like we keep the cow for milk. You know, the cow dung you get free. You don't have to keep the cow for cow dung. Even if you don't want, it will come. See? So once this vision is different, then we are in this world not only for the same old stuff. How long are we going to talk about it? See? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Na tasya prana utkramanti. The one who is established in the absolute, he does not die. See? There is nothing like last life, this life, next life. This is the story. Otherwise, the whole life will be going on talking on the same thing. I don't know, Swamiji. Last life, what good karma I have done, that I have come and met you because of my prarabdha. So, that lady asked me, Swamiji, Mahatmas also have prarabdha? I said, yes. What is your prarabdha? I said, you. See? Please remember, samsara, if you study the Shankaracharya's Bhashya in Mandukya Upanishad, he very clearly brings out this. This theme of Jiva, the law of karma, going to hell and heaven, the 14 worlds, Bhurbhusvaha Mahajanasa Tapaha, and here Atala Vitala Sutala Talatala Rasatala Patala, these are only the methods of explanation. But we get caught up in that. Manju, go. So, if we simply all the time think in terms of, I don't know, what sin I had done last life, in this life I had to get married to this lady, then what do I do? Behave properly with her. Otherwise, next life, she will again hold of you. See? Therefore, we have come boiled down to the final point. Spiritual life means study of scriptures. Most important. Unless our vision changes, we will not be able to change our interaction with the world. And the vision will not just change like that. Vision will change only with the authority of the Upanishads. And for studying the Upanishads or the Gita, etc., we have to go, like in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. See? So, Tad vijnanartham gurumevami gachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. In Mundakopanishad it comes, to know about this truth, or rather to know the truth. Tad vijnanartham guru eva avigachet. Go to the guru. This is from Upanishad I am telling you. And who is the Guru? Guru's adjectives are given. Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. Shrotriya is the one who is well versed in the scriptures. And Brahmanishta is he whose nishtha is in absolute reality. Please understand this technical term. Somebody is Japanishta. Japanishta means what? His whole life he is chanting the Lord's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. This is called Japanishta. Somebody is Karmanishta. Whole life they are busy in doing some social service, this or that and all that. They are called as Karmanishta. The third is called as Yoganishta. The whole day they are spending time only in breathing. But it is very difficult to try to go on counting 216,000 times a day. Try to count it. So they are called Yoganishta. And Brahmanishta is the one who does not feel satisfied to attain something great in the relative world. In the relative world, there cannot be absolute happiness. And we are all seeking absolute happiness. See? We get married to get happiness. Remaining things you know. Is it not? So, then what we do? One husband and wife, they came and told me, Swamiji, you please tell him something, he has changed after marriage. What happened? Earlier, when I used to talk, he used to listen with such a great interest and all that. But after marriage, the moment I talk, he sleeps. I said, maybe you are anesthetizing for him just now. See? We are all seeking absolute happiness, but we are getting lost in the relative pursuit. And therefore, be very attentive. What we do? We go to sleep. What is sleep? Sleep is an experience where the sense of otherness is absent. Where there is no sense of otherness, that is an absolute experience. And in that absolute experience, we all experience bliss. See? One Mahatma completed his lecture, and after that, all were awakened from the sleep. Because during his sleep, all were sleeping. He was so anesthetic. Therefore, Tadvijnanasam Gurumeva Vigasit Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So we have to study from the teacher who is well versed in the scriptures. See? These two types of teachers, those who are following the path of Yoga, Siddha Marga or Avadhuta, they create a situation for teaching the student. And the Acharya, they teach the student in the language the student can comprehend. For the first type of students, it is very, very rare. It is not everybody's bite. See? If you read the life histories of many Siddha Purushas, one example I will give you, Shirdi Sai Baba. I am a great fan of Shirdi Sai Baba. So when you read his book, in that so many things come. They are so funny and wild that any average man will run away from him. So it is not everybody's bite. It is very difficult to remain with a living Siddha Purusha and follow all his whims and fancies, and to understand what he is doing is for our evolution. It is impossible to understand for an average person. So for people like us, for us the path is the path of inquiry according to scriptures. See? Like there was a great Mahatma in Maharashtra, Gondavle. Gondalekar Maharaj, some of you must have heard. I go there also. He is a great devotee of Lord Rama. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is continued. So, his guru, he was the Siddha Purush. And he told him, in the river bed, make a hole, I made a hole. Call the children of the village, put them in the hole, he put them in the children. Cover it. The live children were buried. Make a heap of sand on that. Sit on this. He said. And then this Mahatma went and told the villagers, this man has buried your children alive. Now the people came and started beating him around that. He got sufficient beating. And then he said, no, I don't think they are dead, they should be alive. And again he opened, all are alive. So what was done? The complete surrender was taught to the student. What is the meaning of complete surrender? For a surrender means what? Our surrender is level, sir, upar. See? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender to the divine will. Do we surrender? We tell on the contrary, Lord, oh Lord, please note down, you don't know these things. Do it for me. See friends, therefore for people like us who are the victims of intellectualism, for them it is necessary that we study the scriptures. And when we study the scriptures, the second and most important step we have to know, fulfillment of the desire is not spiritual practice. See? Like we go to the doctor to remove the disease. In the same manner, we go to the Mahatma to remove the desire, what else it is. Suppose I don't have children, I go to a Mahatma, Mahatmaji, I don't have children, please do something. Mahatmaji gives one mango and eat this, and the child is born. They have all the power, there is no doubt about it. But is that the purpose? See? So earlier in Bhagavad Mahapurana story comes. Earlier that fellow was miserable because he didn't have children. So the Mahatma told, don't become miserable, it's okay, whatever God's will is there, accept it. No, I don't want your advice, I want a child. So he told, now you are miserable because you don't have a child, afterwards you will be miserable because you have a child. Misery is common. See? Therefore friends, please remember, going to the teacher, guru, should not be for fulfilling our desires. Make a firm resolution. See, the whole course of your life will change. It is extremely necessary to know. Otherwise, we will keep on getting caught up only in this relative world. Any bad event which happens in our life is a rocket fired for the spacecraft to change the direction of our journey. See? We have to learn that message. And with that, when you look at your life, you will come to know, in this world, so many people have fulfilled so many desires. Where do they end up? You ask any old person, have you discovered fulfillment in life? See? गम उठाने के लिए मैं तुझे जाता हूँ, मरो फिर. They don't die also, leading a miserable existence. See friends, therefore, Sadvijnanartham Guru Mevagi Gacche. Therefore, Guru for us should be the one who will give us the scriptural knowledge by which we change our vision, and with the change in the vision, the things will start happening. Bhagavad Gita was told by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna in 17 chapters. Bhagavan Krishna did not have the capacity to touch and remove his ignorance. Why he has to spend 17 chapters on Arjuna? And did Arjuna do anything? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. He did not do that. He did not do meditation. Shashodeshe Pradishtapya Sthiramasanamatmana. He didn't do that. See? The situation around Arjuna did not change. Arjuna changed. In the same manner, spiritual path is bringing change in ourselves, not in the society. Society is beautiful. See, friends. Therefore, in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan says, Uddhared Atmanatmanam, Natmanam avasavaye. We have to improve upon ourselves. When that becomes a real concern in our life, you will see everything around us changes. And that can happen only if we are convinced that spiritual life is not fulfillment of desire. Spiritual life is etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyaschya bharata. Etad buddhva, knowing this, recognizing this, then only krutakrutyaschya bharata, you will have fulfillment in life, not otherwise. See? One day, one person asked this question. Swamiji, I know you don't like questions and you don't entertain, but yet I want to know from you. I said, when you know I don't like questions, why do you ask? No, please tell me. No, okay. He was sitting with some other Mahatmas also. When we hear the news that from such and such temple, the ornaments were stolen, the gods' idols were stolen, can't God protect His own temple and church? I said, this answer can be given only by God. So you asked him? No, Swamiji, I know you will brush me away. Please don't. Please tell me. I said, you tell me. Which God told you to build a temple? No God has ever told to build a temple or a church or a mosque. It is one man who wants to construct a temple. So if you have constructed a temple, you take the protection, security. Why God will take? He didn't want. Think, friends. Therefore, we are in this world only for our spiritual evolution. That is the thing. And spiritual evolution begins with the fundamental understanding. Fulfillment of desires is not spirituality. Don't go here and there, Mahatma Ji, Punjabis, sar pe haath rakho. They want to, put a hand on their head and then put it in the washing machine. No, it is not going to help. See, we have to change our nature. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Now, this is what is brought out in this Guru Paduka Stotram. Ananta samsar samudratar naukayitabhyam guru bhaktidabhyam vairagya samrajya pujanabhyam namo namah Sri Guru Padukabhyam. We start this, our spiritual practice, first by worshipping the Guru Paduka. Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha, see this word Nama is a short form of Namana. Namana is normally translated as salutations. But in really it means Namana, where the mind disappears. See? Namo Namaha. When the mind disappears, what remains is Paramatma. Thought-free knowledge is conscious existence. So, the first step on our spiritual path is we have to transcend the mind. How do we transcend the mind? We transcend the mind by going beyond thoughts. Thought-free mind is consciousness. Consciousness with the waves of thoughts is called as mind. How the thoughts come? The thoughts come by a virus called as logic. Why? See, I have done everything good, but why is this happening? Because you are the most suitable candidate. See? But why me? Why not you? See? If you have to go beyond cause and effect, there is only one way, and that is, don't ask questions why. It is like that. So when we surrender to the teacher, we don't ask questions. See? And we imagine that asking question is freedom and growth. No. When we are completely available, then only the wisdom can be given to us. There was a person who went to the teacher and very well read, educated and all that. He went to a master and he presented his credentials, his visiting card, and, "Sir, please tell me." So that master said, "Please sit down, sir." And then he went inside, prepared a cup, a kettle of tea, black tea. He must have been like me only. And brought a cup and saucer and a tray and started pouring. Take a cup of tea, then we'll talk. Little first cup filled, then a saucer filled, then a tray started filling and it overflowing. "Sir, what are you doing? It is already filled. You can't add anything more to this now." Then what I have to do? You have to empty that. The same way, unless you empty yourself of all that you have gathered in your mind, you can never be instructed into anything. See? And that is called as salutations, namana. Friends, we go to every place with a teacher or temple with the inheritance of our wrong notions. We have wrong notion about our identity. We have wrong notion about the world. We have wrong notion about God. And we have wrong notion about spiritual practice. Okay. Unless these four things are corrected, we will not be able to walk the spiritual path. See? And to correct our wrong notions, we must be open to receive the things in the right perspective. See? But if we, there are different types of listeners. Bhagwan Shankaracharya writes, there are 4 types of students. First type of student, whatever is told, he understands exactly what is meant. He is called as Uttam Adhikari. The second type of student is he or she who understands 50%. Madhyam Adhikari. The third type of student is the one who understands nothing. He is called as Adhama Adhikari. So Uttama, Madhyama, Adhama. And the fourth is the one who understands exactly opposite. He is called as Adhamadhama. Now why there is a difference in understanding among the students, although the same teacher is teaching? Because of the quality of the student. That student, he who is completely free from all hang-ups of different notions, he is able to cognize the message in one go. See? There is a beautiful text called as Tripura Rahasya, and in that text the story goes, Parshuramji was a student. He killed the Kshatriyas for 21 times. 22nd times, Bhagwan Ramchandraji defeated him. He got frustrated. He went to Kerala. And all the frustrated people go to Kerala. And after he went over there, then he saw on one mountain one Mahatma at peace. So much at peace. In his presence, he also experienced the peace. He said, hey, what is this? So he was, this is Brahmananda. Can you tell me? So he was told, this is Brahmananda. Oh, I think you have not explained me properly. Can you explain again? So that Mahatma says, look here, you are a very intelligent student, you know. You require an intelligent teacher. So why don't you go to Dattatreya? He is a very good teacher. So Parshuramji goes to Bhagwan Dattatreya. And Dattatreya teaches him this knowledge. So the first thing he tells, you know, I went to that Mahatma, but he could not explain me. I think you may be able to explain me because I am intelligent. All intellectuals have this problem. On the contrary, intelligent person understands in one go. Whenever we ask second time, we are adavadava. Once is enough. And for that, our mind should be completely free from all hang-ups. And the freedom from the hang-ups is when we surrender to the teacher. See? And which teacher? The one who is well versed in the scriptures, Shautriya Brahmanishta. We don't want anything from him. Anything. See? To such a student alone, the teacher can explain. Is it not you must have done in your own houses? When the child is crying, Mami, Mami, Mami. So what do? We give some chocolates, some toys or something and get rid of that fellow. But sometimes he is very committed. He doesn't want anything. Only, okay, now he is very happy. In the same manner, when we are satisfied with the little desired fulfillment of this world, that is the technique the Lord pushes us away from ourselves, from himself. So, Namo Namaha Sri Guru Padukabhyam is the first thing. If we are not able to understand the import of the scriptures, first step, we have wrong understanding about spirituality. The spirituality means fulfilling desires, no plea. Second thing, spirituality means readiness to change and ability to change ourselves and our vision. Two things. Many of us are ready to change but unable to change. Swamiji, I know that but I can't stop my anger. What should I do? Become angry. See? We have to be ready and we have to be able to do. See? So, this ability and readiness is inaugurated in our life. Namo Namah Sri Guru Padukabhyam. Now we have come at the feet of the teacher. Now we shall study sincerely without any worldly things to be involved in life. This world has always been like this. There is nothing new in this world, friends. Nothing new. See? The problem what was during Mahabharata, the latest one. Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. My children and Pandu's children. Children is not the problem. My children is the problem. See? And what Bhagavad Gita we have studied? If we are still getting disturbed and worried because of the children, if you have done a mistake of studying Bhagavad Gita, you have lost the right to be miserable. See, friends, we have to go through this. This is a part of the game. And therefore, this mamata, etc., it will go away only if we accept whatever comes in our lot as a divine grace. Therefore, in this verse, Ananta samsara samudra tara naukayitabhyam Guru Padukabhyam. So, what is the Guru Paduka? Bhyam means dual case. Like Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha. So, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramabhyam is two. So, Guru Padukabhyam. There are 2 feet, 2 Padukas. The other day we were in Auckland or somewhere, and I always like to go and see the shopping malls. I like it very much. I enjoy that. Many places they say, Swamiji, will you come to temple? I said, no, I don't like to go to temple. Why? I said, I have seen original. Why will I see the Xerox? So I will go to these various things, and it's fun, it's joy. So in one shoe shop we are going, I was telling Wendy, see what is the advertisement here? Buy one and take one free. Means what? You have to buy only 1 foot shoe, the other you get free. Guru Paduka Bhyam. So what are the Guru Paduka? Guru Paduka are Nauka Itabhyam. They are like the boat. What is the boat required for? Boat is required for going through the waters without getting wet. So, Ananta Samsara Samudra Tara. Samsara is Ananta, infinite. It has no end. See? Balastavat Krida Saktaha, Tarunastavat Taruni Raktaha, Vruddhastavat Chinta Saktaha, Parame Brahmane Kopina Saktaha. This is the story of our life. The same thing again and again and again. How long are we going to entertain this? Same thing again. See? Therefore, Ananta Samsara Samudratara. Now what is the Samsara? One of my friends told me this definition. He said, Swami, do you know who is a samsari? I said, I don't know, you tell me. He said, one young boy, having got educated and very nice, healthy, he unnecessarily caught hold of some sari and became a samsari. This is called a samsari. So what is the samsara? Samsara is a struggle to discover absolute happiness in the relative experience is called as samsara. It can never happen. Can never happen. Now understand this definition of samsara. I perceive the world of colors and forms through the eyes. For what? For getting happiness. I use the ears for various sounds. For what? Getting happiness. But we forget that this world is made up of cross threads. If there is beauty, there is ugliness. If there is praise, there is condemnation. This is how the world is. If there is success, there is failure. If there is honesty, there is deception. If there is good, there is bad. If there is health, there is disease. This is how the world is. But what is our expectation? Our expectation is, through the eyes, I should see only good things. Impossible. See? Bhadram karne vishruyama deva. Let us hear only auspicious by the ears. For that people should talk auspicious, then only you can hear. If they are abusing you, hey, gadhe kahan se aa rahe ho? So how can auspicious gadha? So once we recognize that this world is like this, imagine a world only with good, only with health. It cannot be a world. See? Like if there are threads only in one direction, no cross threads, then there cannot be a cloth, there can be a rope for you to hang yourself. See? Therefore, from the relative world, an expectation of absolute happiness, this struggle is called as samsara. So what do we do? As a husband, try to expect happiness from the wife. And we already define by the word, one is invited forever, wife. And yet we don't understand. See? So, ananta samsara samudratara naukaitabhyam. Now, if we are miserable and fallen into this samsara sagara, ananta samsara samudra, mudra means pose. This is called as, you know this mudra, you all must have seen. This is called as snuff mudra. Those who take the snuff, they know, they have to use it. It is not a jnana mudra, don't forget. Snuff mudra. So, samudra, there are different modes in life. थोड़े गम है, थोड़ी खुशियाँ, ये जीवन है. See? So to get out of this relative world, there is only one way. Be very attentive. We have to have one altar in this whole universe, wherein we surrender 100% without questioning. That is required. Because the real problem shooter, the troubleshooter is not the outer world, but it is our own intellect. For everything, why? Because the sky is too high. There is no meaning in that. Therefore, ananta samsara samudratara naukaitabhyam. Then, Guru Bhakti Dabhyam. Now, Guru Maharaj is not available to us all the time, because he has to survive. One day somebody asked me, Swamiji, what do you do? I said, nothing. They said, no, but you must be doing something. I said, no, really, I don't do anything. But then where do you stay? I said, I don't stay any place, maximum 1 week. So I am a weakling. I am not a strong person. Strong people can stay in the same place for very long. He has to survive, so he goes away. Then what will we do? Guru Paduka. We take the Guru Paduka. Now Guru Paduka means what? Is it the wooden sandal only? See, where is the knowledge of the teacher? Knowledge of the teacher is in the head, if he has one. Even Dattatreya 3. See? So, the knowledge in the head. So, if we have to do namaskar, where we should do? But we do the namaskar to the feet. And where are the feet? The feet are standing on the Paduka, the wooden sandal. See? About wooden sandal, many people ask me this question, Swamiji, why do you put on wooden sandals? I said, look here, when I go to the temple, nobody steals them. Not only that, they put one flower and 2 rupees. Bidi pani ka ghartalik. So, the Guru is standing on the wooden platform, and that is the foundation on which he is standing. So what is the foundation of the teacher? The Acharya, the foundation is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He is abiding in absolute. See? Therefore, Naukaitabhyam Guru Bhaktitabhyam. Now if the Guru is not available to us, we want some reminder. So whenever we are doing our regular puja, poti, etc., we see the picture of the Guru Paduka, or if they are available, immediately when we look at that, we are reminded of the teacher, and all our worries, tensions, everything disappears if we have really surrendered to the teacher. Friends, in the presence of whom, when we feel assured and tension free, understand we have come to a right point in our life. Don't go on evaluating and guru shopping. Go and learn from everybody, even from a passing truck. Bhagavan Dattatreya had 24 gurus. Why there should be poverty of gurus? I have got only one guru. Daridri? As many as you want. What is the mushkil se ek mila hai? It is a bachcha or what? So, nauka itabhyam guru bhakti dabhyam. Now be very attentive. Vairagya samrajyad pujanabhyam. Now what is the grace of the guru when it showers on us? Is not fulfilling the desire. Vairagya, dispatch. Friends, to lead our life meaningfully, perfectly, beautifully, there are three things required. One is passion, second is dispassion, and third is compassion. On these three words I have spoken in Sydney for 1 or 2 hours. We have to have passion to live. It's not कि गुप्ता जी कैसे हो, जिंदा है, मरो फिर. See, how are you? Somehow surviving. Such people don't die. I feel very bad about it. See? Live cheerfully and happily. Every moment should be lived fully. See? So, we have to have passion for life. Otherwise, somehow we are dragging through life. No. Such people, they are a walking comatose existence. No. Now, second is, with passion, then dispassion. So, whatever we do for the joy of it, not for getting joy out of it, but to express joy through us. That is the meaning of dispassion. A dispassionate person is cheerful and happy. See? Wherever there is attachment, there is misery. Where there is no attachment, there is only joy. One person asked me this question, Swamiji, what is the secret of your joy? You are so happy all the time. I said, look here, I discover happiness in the happiness of others. He said, how it is possible? I said, I can give example. For example, when people get married, I go. So the joy portion comes to me, remaining they take. And they get married only once. So, like that 100 marriages you attend, you get 100 times happy. And others are only one time happy, all the rest of the time miserable. Like one Westerner asked me this question in Pune. He came with me to some ceremony, thread ceremony, children's thread ceremony. So there the child was, given all that, dish antenna and everything was done. And the child was very happy, everybody was doing. So this person asked me, Swamiji, what is this? I don't understand. I said, this is not marriage, this is thread ceremony. I explained. He said, by the way, I remember I attended one marriage. In that marriage, I have seen that the girl was crying and the boy was not crying. Why this happened? I said, because that is the only time girl cries. Rest of the whole life, it is the turn of the boy, not the girl. She cries only once. So they got options like that. Dispassion alone is manifested as joy and happiness. See? So we have to have passion to live with the strength of dispassion and also compassion. See? We have to have a loving treatment to everything in this world. What happens with us? If I am a grown-up, the moment a child comes in front of me, I have to start teaching them. If he is standing, where is standing? Sit down. If he is where is sitting? Sit down. If he is using his nail, where is using your nail? Eat my nail. We just can't be like the children. And therefore, the children get so disgusted of the parents. That is the reason. One child I was telling, I said, Beta, I can understand your pathetic condition, but you are lucky you have got only one mother. I have got a battalion of mothers. Wherever I go, they decide what I should eat. See? And not only that, they tell me, Swamiji, ये ढोकला है ना, इसको चटनी के साथ लगा के खाओ. As if I don't know. My whole life I spent only eating. Therefore, Vairagya, dispassion, must be the grace of Lord in our life. See, the divine grace we have according to our understanding. For a man who is, or a boy who is not getting married, for him, what is the divine grace? Getting one useless girl to get married. Divine grace. भगवान की दया से शादी हो गई. If somebody doesn't have a job, what is the divine grace? I got a job. See? If somebody has some ill health, some health problem, then God's grace, my health is okay. But the real God's grace is Vairagya. If we discover dispassion, understand God's grace is in full bloom in us. Vairagya, then Samrajyada Pujanabhyam. And when we have dispassion, Samrajyada, we have become the real monarch, the king of the whole universe. Say the other day when I went to that Queen's town, there were many options to go in high in the sky and jump there and don't die. I said, I don't want a failure. If you have to go, you should die. Only taking the experience of death and not dying, and then waiting, kab aata hai. I said the real courage is not jumping from that thing, but the real courage is you have got all the temptations in front of you. You have got all the freedom to enjoy every temptation, and yet you don't fall a victim to that temptation. That is the real courage. See? The jumping from the mountain, it is a dumb courage. It is nothing great in that. See? There was one parachute, on that it was written, if it doesn't open, please return. Therefore, Vairagya Samrajyada Pujanabhyam. So the real grace in our life comes from our surrender to the teacher. And the teacher who is able to help us grow out of this worldly things is enough. In this world, this has been the same story. There is nothing new. See? Many people, those who are frustrated at home, they get into social work. And when they get in social work, there also they get frustrated. Then they come to us and ask a question. Swamiji, why God has created this world? To make you frustrated. Don't meddle in His creation. We are in this world, like we go to the school, in the class when the teacher is teaching, where is our attention? Whether I have understood or not. She will not get up and say, Swamiji, he has not understood. No. We are in this world for our spiritual evolution. All other things are secondary. They should not be given undue importance. Therefore, the salutation to the teacher is necessary. Then only we will be ready to change our notions about ourselves, about the world, about God and about spiritual practice. And the authority for that is the Upanishads or the Veda. And when we thus go to the Acharya with all surrender, Samit Pani is with sufficient dispassion. When we thus go to the teacher, he will instruct us and then alone we will change our vision. Changing the vision is the only way to change our life. There is no other vision. Kavitva varashi nishakarabhyam daurbhagyadavam buddhamalikabhyam duri kruta namra vipattatibhyam namo namah Sri Guru Padukabhyam. Again, salutations to the teacher's sandals, Paduka, who is Kavitva Varashi Nishakarabhyam. He who is the ocean, Varashi is the ocean. He is the ocean of knowledge. Kavitva is the knowledge. Kavi does not mean he who writes poems. एक बार मैं जा रहा था, बस जा रहा था, बस जा रहा था. And they get the academic award. Andre Nevaniya Mana Yathana. That is not Kavitva. Kavi means Trikaladarshi. Trikaladarshi means he whose knowledge is not limited to the 3 periods of time. Those whose knowledge is limited to 3 periods of time, they are archaeologists. You know, it is said an archaeologist loves his wife as she grows old. Because of the archaeologist training. Kavitva is the knowledge, the wisdom which is beyond the limitations of 3 periods of time. Varashi Nishakarabhyam. So for the night of the darkness of the night, he is like the ocean of knowledge. You know, there is a relationship. Nishakar also means like Dinakar means the sun, Nishakar means the moon. So there is a relationship between the ocean and the moon. Therefore, on the full moon night, the ocean tries to catch the moon. Therefore, there is a high tide. In the same manner, the sandals of the teacher are like a source of knowledge and wisdom to go through the difficulties of life. Daurbhagya davam buddhamalikabhyam. And in our life, there are many misfortunes. Daurbhagya, Durbhagya, the misfortunes. Davam buddhamalikabhyam. And he is like the non-stop shower of grace, because of which we are able to go through the difficulties of life with a smile on the face. Please understand one very important principle. Recently I met one Mahatma Ji, very great Mahatma, and he is Avadut tribe. Nobody can go near him. He does very huge structure, and just use one. So when I went there, I had my food and all that, I was sitting, and he was very lovingly talking for quite some time. And then afterwards, when I went, his disciple came, somebody, and he said, Swamiji, Maharaj Ji has asked you to come to his place, and I am after him for last 25 years. The moment I asked, he gives me one danda, and he has asked you, please go, it is a good place. See? So, he is such a great master. He has got all the capacity to remove our miseries. But the real strength is that we learn to negotiate through the tortures of life as a prasad of the Lord. Friends, if I have a driving license, who should be disciplined? The buffaloes on the road or me? In India, when you drive the car, it's not that the democracy is meant only for the human beings, it is meant for animals also. It's not on road only cars and human beings should walk. Animals have got every right. So when you are going in a nice speed, suddenly one RTO comes. You know RTO? The road traffic officer. So suddenly buffalo comes and looks at you. So, will you complain? Your complaining has no meaning. Who has the driving license? You have. She doesn't have. So, why should she worry? In the same manner, if we have studied, if we are walking the spiritual path, we have to change. The world is beautiful as it is. Please. All the great masters who lived in this world, they did not live when the world was most beautiful. No. They have gone through all the chisel and hammer treatment, what we are going through. And therefore, Daurvagya Davam Buddha Malika Abhyam is what? He gives us the inner strength. Not removing the problems, but giving the inner strength to face the challenges of life. Duri Kruta Namra Vipattati Bhyam. And those who are totally surrendered at the feet of the teacher or to the Paduka, he removes all the depressions and negativities in life. Somewhere somebody asked me, Swami, what do you do? I said, I think positively. Huh? Normally people talk, what do you do? I am a doctor, I am a patient, etc. So I said, no, I think positive. Positive thinking is the simplest way to lead life creatively. Let us have a positive outlook. And then only we will know that whenever there was a misery, this is what Kunti Mata asked Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Mahapuran. O Lord, give us miseries, because we have seen after every misery you have come. When there is everything comfortable, who remembers God? And therefore, whenever there is some kick, understand, we have forgotten the God, and therefore, we have to answer his every call. You know, Bhagavan has got the Panchajanya mobile service. He talks to us. When he dials his number, he gets a message. The number that you have, Vodafone number that you have dialed is out of reach. So we can do nothing, we put down. But Bhagavan doesn't do that. He has got another thing. Thank God Bhagavan is not South Indian. You know why? Because he has got Gada in his hand. South Indians don't have Gada, they have Gada. Om Gadha Dharaya Namaha. हाथ में गधा पकड़ा दिया. So he takes the Gada and gives us one. Oh God, why did it happen to me? Because you did not listen to the earlier phone call. See friends, in this manner, when we change our outlook of life, by changing ourselves alone, the life can change, not by changing the world. And this knowledge is given to us by the teacher, and therefore, in his absence, his very remembrance will be able to help us to get out of this negativity. With that, Guru Paduka is said. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.